A good Erev Shabbos, everyone, as we learn the Mishna Yomis for today, Erev Shabbos of Shabbos HaGadol, Shabbos Parashas Mitzayra, and we are sponsored by the Fisher family, Lilian Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. We're also sponsored Lilian Nishmas Elchan Bunim ben Naftali Beinish, and the Melech ben Eliezer. We're for Shalem Afelio Moshe Mechai Sarah, and for Avram and Yom Beinish ben Malki Yudis and family, for the Eschus, Bayo Klugman and family, for Parnas Berevach Bechavit, for Meir ben Chai Sarah, and for Shalem of my mother Esther Fabel Baschana, and for the protection of our Chenu Kol Beis Yisrael, especially in Eretz Yisrael, where they are in fear, of course, of retaliation from the wicked Iran and other enemies, and yet all over the globe that are on high alert. Hashem should protect all of us. We are up to Mishnah Beis in the 5th parak, and continuing the idea that Beis Shammai says Hektish B'Taz, Hektish, even though it was a mistake, is Hektish, while Beis Hillel says Hektish B'Taz is not Hektish. So the Mishnah gives us two other examples. If, let's say, Chatzkel says, Dinner Zav Shiyala B'Yadi Rishon Harihu Hektish, the coin that comes up in my hand first, which is going to be a gold coin, should be Hektish, V'Olah Shel Kesef, and a silver coin came up first. So it's the opinion of Beis Shammai that even though it was a mistake, Beis Shammai Amrim Hektish, Beis Hillel, since that wasn't what he intended, it was a mistake, and therefore Eina Hektish. Another example, he says, Chavis Yain Shel Talib Yad Rishon, the first bow that comes to my hand, which is going to be wine, Harihi Hektish, but also Shel Shemen, but a barrel of oil came first, Beis Shammai Amrim Hektish, even though it was a mistake, and Beis Hillel Amrim Eina Hektish. Now, Misha Nodar ben Nazir, if somebody made a vow of Naziris, V'nishal l'chacham v'asrei. What happened was he said, Hareini Paziach. Now he didn't know that Paziach is actually Lashon of Naziris. We said it's a kinui of Nazir. He thought that it really was nothing, and therefore he drank wine. He drank wine, and it turns out that the Chacham said, no, that is a Naziris. So Moine Mishosh Nadar, he could count the days even that he drank wine, because when he drank wine, he didn't think it was forbidden. Normally, when you keep a Naziris and you drink wine, those days that you drink wine, you can't count. But over here, since he thought he wasn't a Nazir, he could count the days that he drank wine. Nishal l'chacham v'tiru, if he asked a question to the Chacham, and the Chacham was matir the neder and says that it was not a Naziris, he said, Mumba is nothing. So the Chacham went ahead and was matir it. So then if he separated animals for his karbanas, they could go back to the flock, because he separated it thinking it was a Nazir, and it was not a Nazir. Even if he separated a Chattis, an Oila, and a Shlamim, they could go back to the flock. So Beis Hillel says to Beis Shammai, you see, Hektish B'Tois is not Hektish. Beis Hillel, Beis Shammai, Hektish Tois, that it's an error, that it should go back and pasture in the flock. Now, Beis Shammai holds that there's a different reason. Beis Shammai says it's because he accepted karbanos of Naziris, and you can't accept karbanos of Naziris if you're not a Nazir. It's not als hektish b'tas hektish, but he counters to Beis Hillel a proof that hektish b'tas is hektish. Amar Beis Shammai, when you're doing ma'aseh behema, b'mishatah, you know what you do is you pass animals through a corral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th one is ma'aseh behema, and you strike it with red paint, with a rod. So Beis Shammai says to Beis Hillel, don't you admit to me, he was counting, he got distracted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he counted 10. He skipped 9. So he called the ninth one 10, and then he realized that he skipped 9, so he then tried to make it up. So he called Asiri 9, he called the 10th one 9, and then he called what was really the 11th one 10, or La'achad Asr Asiri. So we say Shehu Mekudesh, that all three of those animals have a din of hektish. The 9 that he called 10, the 10 that he called 9, and the 11 that he called 10, all three are Kodesh. Amlan Beisil says it's not because of a mistake. Because if you would call 8-10 or 12-10, they wouldn't become Kodesh. Amlan Beisil, Loya Shavit Kitchay. It's not the just striking it with the rod, with the red paint. It's Mekadosh, even if it's a toys. If he would call 8-10 or 12-10 Shema Asaklum, would it be anything? No. It's just, we learn out from Exeris HaKasav that if you call the animal near 10 on either side, 10, and of course if you call 10-9, it's holy because it is the 10th. The Torah that says that the 10th one is Kiddush, who Kiddush es Achiv es Achad Aser, we learn out a special Gezeres HaKasav that the 9th and the 11th, if you call them 10, is also Kiddush, even though it's not als Hektish B'tois, because if you call 8-10 or 12-10, it would not be Kiddush. Okay, I want to take a chance to wish everybody a wonderful Shabbos HaGadol. Please remember to go to a Shabbos HaGadol drasha. First of all, it is part of the routine of Pesach. That's why the Rav wears a talis. He doesn't usually wear a talis, but it's part of the Seder of Pesach. It's more than just the drasha. Also, it gives honor to your Rav, which is a very important thing, and it teaches the children how important it is to go to a drasha, so they'll go to a drasha later in their life. This is both boys and girls. We want to thank you. If you get a chance and you want to prepare, on YouTube I put down a lot of interesting shiurim. First of all, the shiurim I gave, the pre-Shabbos HaGadol recording, which is a great shir. There's a shir called The Glorious Mitzvah Matzah. There's also a model Seder that I gave during COVID that's on YouTube, and there's also Seder Insights from 2017. So there's a lot of good stuff there. Remember, if you use YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Of course, you could catch many more of my shiurim on TorahAnytime.com or on Kol Lashon. We thank you for joining us. We wish you a great, great Shabbos and a very happy Pesach.